answer. So Arvind is asking, will JVM always crash when memory leak happens? First of all, Arvind, when memory leak happens, this is a good question. When memory leak happens, out of memory error will be thrown. But out of memory error will not crash your JVM. A JVM will survive and it will keep running. Actually, the out of memory error is a good thing that JVM is doing, right? Because when out of memory error is thrown, it's a self-defense mechanism JVM is doing to recover. So look at this thread, which is going on an infinite loop, right? And trying to create objects. When out of memory error is slapped on the thread is going to be short-circuited from going on an infinite loop. So the thread backs out, it goes away. So it is a self-defensive mechanism that JVM does, right? So the answer is no, it will not crash. Okay. Masim is asking the best version of Java GC according to your experience, right? Maxim, see, there is no thing called as best Java GC. The best Java GC depends on what is the nature of the application you are and what is the KPI that you are trying to solve. So I can say, for example, I'm building very real-time applications. Let's say I'm sending rockets to NASA or something very critical. So there my pause times shouldn't matter, shouldn't be very, very minimal. There should be no pause time at all, close to almost zero, right? So that is a different goal. Low pause time is a different goal. But let's say my goal, let's say I'm right now, because the garbage collection takes a lot of CPU cycles. Let's say my cloud computing cost is going high. In fact, for Uber, the car ride sharing app, their cloud computing costs were going very high because of garbage collection, CPU consumption. So they had to tune down the garbage collection to reduce the CPU consumption. So even for them, if they are okay with the pause times go high. But if they want the CPU consumption to go down, then that is a different target they want to achieve. So based on what is the goal you are going, whether you're going to go for a low pause time or you're going to go for the low footprint, or whether you are going to go for high throughput, based on that, you want to be determining. But here, I want to share with you a blog post, especially since a lot of us are in the microservices world, how to choose the right GC strategy for microservices. So let me put this in the chat window. So here, where we displayed. So there are 7 GC algorithms in OpenJDK. But when it comes to microservices, either you can go for G1 GC or ZGC, either one, based on certain criteria. How large, if your heap size is very large, more than 32 gig, then you may consider going with this, and especially if you're after JDK 21. If you're in earlier versions, if your heap size is smaller, consider going with G1 GC. But on the other hand, let's say you're trying to run a batch application. In the batch application, I'm more concerned about the throughput. That is, I want to execute more things quickly, right? So if the pause times are occasionally, once in a while, pause times are occasionally fine, then you're still fine with that. So how to choose the right GC algorithm for the batch applications? So in this case, this is the priority of order. First, the parallel GC is well suited for batch application. That is the first choice. And these are the other two choices, right? Okay. So now going
Ram, the best way to do this is actually testing out in each application, or just following those principles.
No. You should always test it out in your application because this is a general guideline we are giving. So you want to test it out with your application and then come to a consensus. Don't take anyone's opinion, including mine. Don't take at all. Test it on your application and make a decision. Yeah.
And you mentioned 7 garbage collection OpenJDK, right? But do the other vendors of other virtual machines they also have their own garbage collectors, or
yes,
it's just those?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yes, like say for Azul, they have their own set of Azul, the JVM. They have their own set of GC algorithms. Similarly, like IBM has their set of GC algorithms. IBM has a open J9 JVM. They have their own set of GC algorithms. Yes, they do have. Okay. So then now the Varun is asking, will YC data script work on mainframes, GOS? See, it works on all flavors of Linux, Mac, and Windows, but we haven't really tested on mainframe. So I don't know the answer. Most likely it will not work. Okay. So now going to Mark, is there a file size limit to upload on EPRO? Yes. So Mark, yes, in the cloud version of EPRO, there is a limit. You cannot, there is a limit. I forgot. I think it is 300 MB or something. It's a very small limit. So you want to download locally and do the analysis. Always see, friends, when you are trying to analyze the production dumps, right? See, probably today you are analyzing. Let's look into this one. Probably today you are analyzing subset of this information, right? You're analyzing subset of, you're analyzing, capturing and analyzing some of this information. In this, heap dump is a very sensitive information, is a sensitive artifact, because what is heap dump? Heap dump is a photograph of your memory. So in my memory, I have social security numbers, VAT numbers, credit card numbers. We have a lot of informations are there. So when you're uploading your heap dump to EPRO cloud, that means you're uploading the sensitive information. A lot of corporations, they don't prefer that. They don't want to go outside. So rather you download the tool and install it locally and do the analysis. And in fact, if you do this local download locally and do the analysis, the tool has a lot of security features. Like what we do, one thing is called as a heap dump sanitization. That is, if you look into this heap dump, you see it prints all, when I do the heap dump analysis, it prints all this PAI data and all of them. But we have a capability to sanitize the heap dump. So we evict, we delete all these, maybe we garbage collect all the sensitive information so that it gets masked like this. So all the sensitive information will be removed from the raw heap dump. So any of your developers will looking into that, they will not access to it. They'll have no visibility. So downloading locally and running is a more secure way to do the analysis. Okay. Okay. So how is incoming reference different from GC routes? So Bogdan, both are same. See, the incoming references, I walk step by step. Okay, this object is referenced by this object referenced by this, and I can go all the way to the GC route. But anyway, but through incoming reference, I'm just trying to walk through and get to the GC route. Both are same only. Okay, Madhusudan Rao. May I know if the session is recorded? Yes, it is recorded, and I think it will be shared. Is EPRO show thread view? Shows the thread activity when OM triggered. Hitesh, yes. EPRO does show a thread view. So in fact, when clicking on that, we do a detailed thread dump analysis and we can look into it. So Sukanya Chavan, there are many GC tuning parameters. Could you please suggest the best practice to get started? Or they basic and should be added? So Sukanya, see, there are some online, I've given some talks even in the webinar series earlier. You may want to go back on GC tuning, right? There is one introductory session on GC tuning. Let me try to see the link for that and then I'll share it with you. But if you want to go get more details, that online training program can help you. But let me share with you. Yes. So here is a link. Sorry. Here is that video, GC tuning. This might be a good starting point for you to take a look at it. I'm sharing it here. For the details, you can always go to that. If at all you want to do, you want to go for that training session. Okay. So Moinuddin says, are there any known libraries or design patterns for commonly causing memory leaks if not used properly? Are there any known? No, no. See, there are no such library which visibly has memory leaks, right? It's how we invoke it that matters, right? Yeah, even there could be a best framework, best library, like Goa or any library which is there. If I misuse it, that's going to have a memory leak. But there will not be visibly available like memory leaks, which will be there. Most likely, these libraries they do fix it. Yes. So Ulaganathan Natarajan asking, will you cover native memory leak? Yes, we will have a session on that. In fact, we do native memory tracking as well. We will do a session. That's a good point, Ulaganathan. And Sunil says, Azul claims to have fossless GC. How does that work? Yes, Sunil, yes, Azul is a great company, right? It's a great JVM. They provide you the pauseless GC. So in the interest of time, I wouldn't be able to go much detail. But friends, when it comes to garbage collection tuning, there is three KPIs that what we want to be working is. One is the pause time. And second is the throughput. Third is the footprint because of garbage collection. Because garbage collection takes GC, garbage collection takes CPU cycles, and it also needs memory, right? So just like when it comes to tuning, they say you have to pick two, either one, whether you want to go for pause time or throughput, or pause time and foot. I can go for all the three. What Azul does is they've done very cleverly. Like in fact, in one of the session, we are trying to get the Azul CTO, Jill Teen, to come and talk to us. So he's one of the person. Me and Bruno, we're trying to get in here. So he can answer this question more better. But my understanding, so they optimize for pause time, but their footprint is very high. So they have done this, but they had a lot of footprint. So that's how they have solved it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because there's no magic in this, right? It's always trade-offs, and people have to decide what's more important. Sometimes not pausing is more important than how much memory it uses, right?
Yes. Yes. And okay. Thank you. And Hitesh says, does ePiro support OQL? Yes, it does support. Okay, it has support for OQL, object query language. You can execute the queries and then you can see the results. We use fast thread. Yes. Okay, Abhinav is appreciating our thread dump analysis tool. Thank you, Abhinav. Right. I missed the earlier part. Earlier question, what cases we take thread dump, heap dump, and out of memory will also affect? Is out of memory is also, yes. So Madhusudan, so when there's a performance problem, we cannot differentiate whether I want to pick thread dump or heap dump. That's why it's better to capture a 360-degree data, that what we are showing. Capture 360-degree data and do analysis. And answering your question, yes, when there is a threading problem, also the memory leak will happen. So we'll try to cover that in our next webinar. Okay. Okay. So then the last question, Raj says, Raj Shah, I have New Relic agent installed on my production server. Now many times server goes down. But when this happens, if I restart it, Jame automatically not capture thread dump. So, Raj, this is where to capture heap dump, this argument that I showed for you, that is Raj's question is JVM crashes. So before crashing, how can I take this heap dump or thread dump, right? So Raj, that's when you want to use this argument. You want to configure this argument to your JVM, heap dump or out of memory error, and give this file path. When you give it, automatically when heap dump happens, then the dump will be taken and then it will be returned into the file system. So you have the dump with you, heap dump, right? Okay. Okay, friends, I think we are, there are no more questions. So thank you everyone for taking a valuable time and attend the session. So we will continue this journey. Thank you everyone, right? Thanks for taking your valuable time. See you guys. Bye.